Imagine this, you're aboard a massive ship, all alone, surrounded by the vast, endless ocean. It's past midnight. The waves gently hit the hull, but inside, the silence is unnerving. Shadows seem to shift in the dim light, as if something is there. Your mind plays tricks on you. But the real question is, what if something else is here? Tonight, we'll explore a story shrouded in mystery, a tale that blurs the line between reality and the unknown. A story that has left many wondering, what would you do if faced with something you can't explain? This is the story of the RMS Queen Mary, an ocean liner with a past that's as dark as it is famous. The ship was built in the 1930s, once hailed as a marvel of engineering and luxury. It even served as a troop ship during World War II, but over time, whispers of strange occurrences began to surface. Unexplainable events that would leave those who encountered them questioning their own senses. One account comes from a man named Matthew, a maintenance worker who had been called to investigate a minor issue in the lower decks of the ship, late one evening. It was a task he had done countless times, but this night was different. As Matthew descended into the lower levels of the ship, something felt off. The air was heavy, and each step echoed down the long, empty hallways. The deeper he went, the more the ship seemed to close in on him. It wasn't long before he realized something odd. Every turn he took seemed to lead him back to the same spot. Matthew had called out for his colleague, John, who was supposed to be nearby. But the only answer he got was silence. That, and the sound of footsteps that weren't his own. He turned, but no one was there. A strange unease washed over him. Then, faintly, he heard his own name, whispered, from nowhere. His pulse quickened as he hurried through the corridors, feeling as though something was watching him. Just ahead, he noticed a heavy metal door number 13, slowly closing. The sight of it brought a cold shiver down his spine. Something felt wrong. As he neared the door, he saw the outline of a figure standing on the other side. But by the time Matthew reached it, the door had shut with a deep, metallic thud. There was no one there. Matthew tried to shake the strange feeling, but the incident stuck with him. His footsteps quickened as he moved through the ship's lower decks, passing by the now silent boiler room. But even there, something seemed off. In the distance, he thought he saw a flicker of light from one of the old furnaces. Yet the ship's engines had long been shut down.
As he approached the furnace, he noticed what looked like someone working inside, tending to it as though the ship were still at sea. Matthew was confused. How could this be? He reached out, calling to the person, but they didn't respond. When he got closer, the figure disappeared into thin air. Matthew was left standing alone in the quiet, cold room. Matthew wasn't sure what he had just seen. His mind raced for an explanation, but nothing seemed to make sense. His only thought now was to get back to the upper deck. But on his way, as he passed the ship's once grand swimming pool, something caught his eye. At first, he thought it was a reflection in the water, but the pool had long been drained. Yet, in the empty pool, faint impressions of footprints appeared. They led directly from the side of the pool to the edge, where they vanished. Matthew stood frozen for a moment, unable to look away. What had left those marks? And why? Matthew wasn't the only one to experience something unusual that night. His colleague, John, had his own unsettling encounter. He claimed to have heard the sounds of laughter and clinking glasses, as if a party were happening in one of the ship's grand halls. But when he arrived, the room was empty. The echoes of the sounds faded, leaving him standing in silence. After that night, both men shared their stories, but neither could fully explain what they had experienced. The Queen Mary had a history of unexplainable events, stories passed down by visitors and crew alike. And yet, no matter how many accounts are told, the ship continues to hold its secrets. The Queen Mary still stands today, docked and preserved as a museum. But those who visit claim that, in the quietest hours of the night, they hear things, whispers, footsteps, voices that don't belong to anyone they can see. Some say the ship is simply a relic of the past, while others believe it may hold the memories of those who never truly left. So if you ever find yourself aboard the Queen Mary, remember, it's more than just a ship. It's a place where the past might just linger, watching, waiting for the next curious soul to step aboard. Stay safe and sleep well. Good luck.